Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, bald-headed mosquitoes and bow-legged ants. Yeah, if you're wondering where that came from, that was a flashback from overnight camp from back when I was 9 years old. Yeah, I have a strange brain that way. Power of attentions are funny, even for ADD. Anyway, for those of you who don't know, and shame on you if you don't, but you get a few that jump on board a little late. My name is Red, aka Shaka, aka sub-moniker here, Black Magic, and this is the other side of ropes. And no, your mind isn't playing tricks on you. 420 was way back at 4:20 p.m. and we're also talking April 20th. So we're a couple of days short of Thanksgiving. So God help you if you've gotten that far lost. Anyway, this is the other side of ropes, and this is the video blog or video column, depending on how you want to look at it, about wrestling from the point of view of where else? The other side of ropes. I should know. I'm a wrestler. I named it. That's why it's called the other side of ropes. And therefore, that's why they called it Dylan. Sorry. Another joke entirely. Sorry, folks. I almost had a Richard Pryor moment there. We'll get into that later. Anyway. And of course, you can tell it's almost 2 o'clock. And normally, I'm coming in from the pub, and I already had my 3 rounds. But then, of course, considering the decadent weekend I had, oh yeah, I came back from, I had a little field trip over in Rehoboth Beach, home of Dogfish Head Brewery. And don't let the Blue Moon part fool you. I got that from one of the bars around the corner, but it only seemed fitting to put that in a glass, considering I came back home with a 64-ounce growler. Yeah, thick wine jug of Dogfish Head's Red and Black Mint Stout. Not for the faint of heart. And yeah, stuff like this, I got no problem handling. So I get to enjoy my 4th round. And I know some people around the globe can actually appreciate this sort of thing. And the ones I'm thinking about, of course, is my man, Mr. PT Player himself over in the UK. Cheers, mate. Now, moving right along, folks. Now, I know I was talking about this whole thing the last month or so about conditioning and all that stuff. Just to give you an idea, remember that decadent weekend I just mentioned not even a smidgen of a second ago? Well, here's the deal. I'm going to tell you what happened. Alright, we go down to Dogfish Head, and there's also an eatery as well as a brewery. And the food there is just as good as the beer itself. In some cases, they use their very own craft beer. Yes, craft beer. And incorporate them in some of the recipes. Well, needless to say, by the time I got done and I got back on Sunday, and the biggest meal I had after that, and these are cheat days for me, Saturdays and Sundays, the weekends, I turned around and had a ham and cap hoagie from this pizza shop around the corner from us, Pizza Roma, after I got through doing my food shopping. Sounds weird? Nah, it shouldn't. But like I said, you get cheat days. And part of my diet is I'm not supposed to have anything involving gluten or grain. And what's the ham and cap hoagie? Well, Amoroso roll. It's an Italian roll, but gluten, grain, bad combo, right? Okay. But knowing me, I'd be crazy enough to work that off the next day, and sure enough, that's exactly what I did. But my meal after that, and the first solid meal of the day that I had, well, it's another thing I picked up, and it's been on my Facebook page. Nice little salmon recipe I picked up from one of the guys just before I left. And it was pretty good. It's clean. You get 3 kinds of fat. You're getting the omega-3 from the salmon. You're getting the fat from the avocado, because I replaced it with the aforementioned, the original recipe asked for mayonnaise. Yeah, I kind of tweaked it. And the other fat, coconut oil. Kind of works. And I'll tell you why. I capped off at about 210 pounds by Sunday morning. By the time I got done on my workout Monday night, 203 and a half. Now, I was about 2 pounds heavier than what I was on Friday. Yeah, that's conditioning. No excuses. And we're not talking bodybuilding. Didn't pick up a single solitary dumbbell nor barbell. No, I didn't. Not at all. No. Kettlebells, yeah. Resistance bands, absolutely. Let's see. resistance band and some other instruments, medicine ball with the resistance band, and cable machine. And with a guy like me, that's a nasty combination. Had a lot of fun with that one. Oh yeah, and some body weight too. Yeah. I also mentioned something about grappling exercises too on my wall. There's a link to lockflow.com, and they had a nice little 6-minute, 25-second montage dedicated directly towards Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu grappling drills. Something I think is sorely missing from even professional wrestling. Why? They even mentioned the fact where they was talking, they had a guy doing Granby rolls, and if you don't know what it is, look it up. It's around. If you can find anything else. And they also kind of, like a lot of academies, they pointed out, did away with the hip escapes. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's also called shrimping. Now, comes in handy, especially if somebody's got you in a pin. Works for me plenty of times. And I come out through the back door, I come up with something else, and I can go for a choke or a suplex. And I've done it in a couple matches this year too, to be honest with you. Now, there's also that whole debate about, oh, I don't know. I might save this until next month when I have the 7th anniversary of the column. Yes, it's that old. This is just the 1 year we did it on video. But anyway, it has something to do with, I mentioned, what, fourth walls, that sort of thing. That's kind of a segue, folks. But let's put it like this. It has to do with redefining. Nobody's trying to redefine the game. And the ones that say they are, all they're doing is just basically repeating the same crap they've been seeing for the last 15 years? I mean, dude, what have you done that Heyman's people ain't do already? All you just want to do is, oh, I can do that too. But we saw it already. Come on, guys. And you're not even drilling it right. Yeah, that's another debate, but I'm going to save that. And yeah, by the way, there is another The Other Side of Ropes column that was prior to this one. I didn't put it up, so it's going to be back to back, so bear with me. This is just the Thanksgiving edition. The early edition should have been done, but I kind of got tied up. But don't worry, you'll see it. And we're hitting the 7-minute mark, and I know this part usually takes around that same amount of time. So on that note, I'm going to segue. Here's the deal. You guys can check this out depending on how long or short this is. If it's past 15 minutes, it won't make it to WrestlingJunkies.de because I can't put it on YouTube. Unless, of course, Tazzy figures out a way to work around it. I have to talk to him about it. Otherwise, I apologize. But for the rest of you guys that are looking for it, that want to see it, if you got me on my Facebook, then you can find it. Otherwise, you might have to consult ProWrestlingDigest.com. You'll definitely find it there if I can't figure that one out because, well, Karen Betcher's she's the editor there. If she can't get the embedding code from off of Facebook, then, well, you're screwed twice. Unless, of course, once again, you find it on my Facebook page. And you guys know how to find me. I'm not going to say how. The ones you do know, you got to figure it out. But it's on public. But in the meantime, if I can get it just under the 15-minute bit, no problem. I think it's just my internet just acting caca, folks. Sorry. DSL. If I can upgrade the cable, then it'd make my life a whole lot easier. Trust me. But on that particular note, here's the deal. You can catch The Other Side of Ropes once again on my Facebook and under my YouTube under the name Crimson Shaka. 2 words put together, you'll find it pretty easy. And if you can't find it there, you'll find it on WrestlingJunkies.de for those of you over in Germany. Now, other than that, ladies and gentlemen, you also have the Top Rope Radio episode. We didn't get a chance to do it because Johnny Logan was a little on hiatus for a second. But chances are we'll probably be back up and running the Sunday right after Black Friday. And aptly so, we'll be interviewing the new Devastation Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion, the former Cruiserweight Champion, Blackie the Shields of the 215 Empire. And that'll be on Sunday night, well, barring any other incidents, but that'll be Sunday night, 11 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Western Time. So, just watch for it. On that note, I'm going to give the usual obligatory 5 minutes and however long this lasts, the obligatory shout-outs. Starting with my people over in out west. Of course, you got Johnny Logan. And the rest of the 38 Proof Clan, which is out here in West with us on my side in the East. And that's, of course, Jackson Daniels, Jesse Logan, and Southern Grizzly. And of course, let's see. Speaking of Southern Grizzly, I'm on trip going down to the bottom of the tri-state, just south of the Mason-Dixie line. We're talking about none other than, of course, down in Maryland. We've got the crew from the former Maximum Championship Wrestling crew, which has been recognized in DC as well as Delaware. Massive Mike E.L. Stanley, Marcellus, and Body Snatcher, collectively known as the D-Line. Chris Nightmare, Trina Stratus. Let's see, Brandon Mercury, who is of course part of Power Pro Wrestling in Delaware, along with luminaries like my man Grey Wolf, Haroof, and Grizzly already mentioned. Let's see. Let me trickle down to the south for a second to Lady Amazon Amanda Webb and Luscious Bob Geary. Mass shout outs to you guys. Over to the Midwest, Mid-South area for a second to Grand Belle of them all. Of course, I'm talking about Mad Dog Fifi Fashawn, or just Mad Dog Fifi. Sorry about that. And she'll be surprised when she hears me say that, by the way. Of course, going further up, over in New Jersey, the Mid-Atlantic Wrestling Alliance crew. We're talking about another one, Risky Business, if you will. And I'm talking about, of course, Risky Business Ronnie Reigns, head of my stable. Of course, you also got Andy Header and Dave Patera. And somewhere hiding in there, let's see, the rest of the guys over there. Twiggy Ramirez, Biggie Biggs, Ed House. Anybody else I forgot? Well, bear with me. I'll dig you guys up. Trust me. We got plenty more where that came from. We got plenty more of the column. Anyways, of course, Devastation Wrestling Federation, of course. Doc Diamond, who is still having a little problem with a medical problem. Hit serious condition, so mass shout out to Doc Diamond. Hopefully we get a speedy recovery out of him. And the rest of Devastation University, the 205 Empire, of course. You guys know who you are. The Femme Fury Fatales. Let's see. Some of my older frats. Let's see. Moondog Ravage. Of course, the Dark Angel Slayer. Flex Wheeler. And, oh, yeah. Little shout out to my man, Shaheem Harper. Happy belated birthday, man. Of course, going over to the other side. Oh, I almost forgot. My boys up, the whole crew of the Elite Generation Wrestling crew. I'll see you guys next year. Cadillac Stanks, Grizzly Warrior. Hopefully he'll be back up to snuff to get back in the ring and see action some more. And let's see. Rest of you guys up there, I'll see you next year. Let's see. Now let's go over to the usual suspects, to my boys, to my frats over in the UK. Of course, I'm talking about, and I mentioned this before. Cheers, mate. PT Player, PT standing for Teetotaler Tommy Stevens, the Spooky Woo, the Hooded Neek Drewy, and of course Joe, Craig, Tony, Vicky, Jim, and the Milkshake. Yeah, I have some hip action down there, but it's too low for you guys to see, but you know what I'm talking about. My boys over in Belgium, I'm talking about Robin, Laurie, Homeless, Jack, Thorax, Gangrene, Rob Raw, Wendy, and Bernard Van Dam. My boys over in Holland. One half of the Sumerian Death Squad. Okay, we got Mr. Zeus, and we got Tommy in. Rico Bushido, Destructo, Andy F. and Patterson, G-Spot, who is currently taking over Argentina at the moment. Stay warm, guys. It's cold up there. I saw the pictures. Uncle Vito Illetore Toscani, Ernderdad. To my Deutschland crew, the House of Jacks, Susie, Kenton, Sanjay, my selector Hunt, Zeras Von Crow, Craig BC, Monique, and that's over in Berlin. And of course, you got Susie and Katrin in Dresden, my family over there. Melly, Sandra, and Grussenheim. Kathy, Maddie, Mama Cakesa, Mina Talk to Savannah. MC Logan, Andrea Bobic at Top Catch, Marcella Pro Wrestling Fires, Crazy Johnny Tiger and the rest of DWA crew, Machina, Ken Mahler. And of course, I mentioned Greg BC already from Berlin. He's part of that whole thing. And of course, Rick the Voice Valentine. and to the AMW crew, or the AWM crew over in Lubeck, and the webmaster for WrestlingJunkies.de. I'm talking about none other than Mr. Burned, Tazzy Machine, Lawrence, Marcus for WrestlingFever.de, and then the Pro Wrestling Eve crew, as opposed to Adam, Eve, bingo, you get the math. I'm talking about Jazzy, Mina, Jenny, the rest of you guys. I'll catch you guys next week for the next episode. Now I got 2 to post this week, but I don't care who knows it. It should be kind of slow, so you guys better brace yourself. And on that note, incense. For my Deutschland crew, ich liebe und vermisse dich alles. Same thing for us, everybody else over in England, over in Western Europe, and the rest of the guys back over here, and anybody else I've missed around the world and throughout. I'll catch you guys next week. I'm out. Peace.